Happy Friday and Chag Sameach, dear friends. Here we are in a sukkah. Zman Simchatena, the time of our great joy. What did the rabbis decide would be the perfect accompaniment to our Torah reading for tomorrow? The book of Kohelet, Ecclesiastes, written by Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon, over 2,000 years ago. The bottom line of the book is basically the line, Havel Havalim Hakol Havel. Futile, futile, everything is futile. No matter what we do, how much money we amass, how much wisdom, how much power, how many wives, all of it is meaningless because we leave this world with nothing. Why did the rabbis think that that would be an appropriate book to read on this Zman Simchatenu, this time of Sukkot, of our great joy? So I want to share with you a story. In 2005, May of 2005, Eugene O'Kelly, the CEO of KPMG, was diagnosed with terminal cancer. He was dead 100 days later. But in those 100 days, Eugene O'Kelly recounted in a book called Chasing Daylight what he did and how he spent those last 100 days of his life. And he says, and I'm going to paraphrase, he says that those 3 months were the equivalent of 30 years of his life. Because he stopped running and he stopped trying to advance and go further and further. All he did was do what was important to him. He spent time with his family, spent time with his friends. He cleared up all the accounts. He did everything he needed to do to live fully for those 100 days. Ernest Becker wrote a book in 1973 called The Denial of Death. And basically, he was saying that all of us feel like we want to be immortal, and we all have this fear, this deep-seated fear that we know we're not going to live forever. So we deny death and we try to do something that will immortalize us. So we create artistic paintings. We try to create songs. We try to build big buildings or put our names on things. We try to do things that will give us a future, knowing deep down that nothing we do can last forever. An ironic twist, Ernest Becker actually died before he could receive the Pulitzer Prize for the book in 1974. So what does it have to do with happiness? Rabbi Jonathan Sachs explains that Kohelet actually is the secret to our happiness, because if we know that one of our enemies of happiness is knowing that we're not going to be immortal, we're not going to live forever, is to get us to stop and try to live in the now, instead of dwelling on the past or being anxious about the future. The book of Kohelet reminds us that right now we have time, we have a moment, and we have a day. We have a cup of water in front of us, or an ice cream, or we can sit on the couch with a loved one, with a friend or a family member, and just be, and just talk, and appreciate the moment. And when we can be in the present, that's where joy is. We're sitting here in a sukkah. We have these temporary walls and this temporary roof, and we don't even have 4 walls surrounding us, but we're serene, we're secure, knowing that we're living in the now. Even though it might be a little too cold or a little too hot or a little too windy or rainy, we're going to be in the now. And I would just add that the other part that Kohelet, I think, lends to a happy life is the way that the book ends. It tells us that at the end of the day, all we have is our relationship with God. Because everything else, all the other things that can bring us joy, have an expiration date. The jet skiing and the fancy vacations and the beautiful cars and everything we can possibly want that will give us joy in the moment will not last forever. They expire when we die. The only thing that's infinite, the only thing that's eternal, is our relationship with the eternal creator of the universe, with Hashem, with God. And Kohelet reminds us that although we're here and we should live in the now, we shouldn't live for the now. We should live for the future, knowing that just like this sukkah is temporary and a few days will be taken down, so too our lives, we're not going to be here forever. But we can amass great fortune, spiritual fortune, by the Torah we learn, the mitzvot we do, the way we treat people in a kind manner. That is our currency that we can take with us forever. So I give us all a blessing that we should live in the moment, in the present, enjoy every moment, but live for the future, knowing that our temporary lives here are not what's going to bring us joy, but in the future, for all of eternity, we'll be able to live with the joy knowing that we did good while we were here. I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom, a Chag Sameach. Thank you for listening to the Masorah Minute.